mindset runs the show. We like to do things the way we learn to do, or sometimes we got into a habit of doing, and we also have some ideas and understanding. And it's often with the disruptive tech like AI, it's completely different what we used to do or to kind of follow the routine. It's completely different. It's like a new workflow. So if you're not open to the new, to kind of shift your mindset from like fear of, oh my God, it's going to replace me, to, oh, actually, maybe it might be just very like a supportive tool and useful, then there will be no adoption really. You will just probably will be left behind in many cases. So the mindset is very important, and I see that like actually the early adopters, usually people who just have their have this curiosity all the time in their like as a driver for trying new things, improving, evolving. So yes, I think mindset is a really big part of it, because as a tool there were many tools that came and go and were not noticed, and I'm sure that it's not only it wasn't happening only with AI. It's like whatever, internet, same story.
It's the same story, but a different approach. Welcome to Intangiblia. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic: lean, smart, and automated, the entrepreneur's guide to working with AI. And we are joined by Vlada Mentik, an AI and data strategist consultant, product builder, and founder of the Aspiring Way. With over 13 years of experience across finance, SaaS, crypto, and consumer tech, she's helped everyone from large corporations to lean startups translate complexity into clarity. Fluent in Python, which I truly admired, cloud platforms, and practical business strategies, Vlada knows how to cut through the hype and help teams focus on what matters. Her workshops are known for being hands-on, mindset shifting, and refreshingly jargon-free. Whether it's automating repetitive tasks, streamlining workflows, or turning large language models into real productivity tools, her goal is simple: make AI work for humans, not the other way around. In this episode, we talk about cutting through the noise, building smarter without bigger budgets, and why AI should work for you. Welcome.
Thanks. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about the topic because I live and I breathe every day with this. And I've been in tech and AI for over 13 years now. And I bring expertise to solo professionals like coaches, consultants, creatives, the folks who wear all hats. So I was, and like during my journey, I was seeing a lot of brilliant people like stressing and burning out while they had to juggle all the things they need to do in order to run their independent business. Or some of them would have really great ideas, but rightfully be terrified to start and to even start and make it happen. And this, like, not everyone has a team to delegate. Some doesn't even have budget. So that's why I was thinking that actually AI can help there, can be of a really great use. That's what I'm doing now. I am helping people design smarter workflows so they can focus on and do what they love the most without stress, and like free some time up for things that matter.
It's a beautiful endeavor because you get to raise entrepreneurs and SMEs that already have a long fight. So you learn from their business, and then you learn how to make it better for them.
Yes, exactly, something like that.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful work. So let's start with the aspiring way. Tell us about it, and what gap were you trying to solve when you launch it?
So I'm trying to fill the gap between sometimes I know how to run the business, because the truth is that there is a lot of um, learning material out there. You can go to, I don't know, entrepreneurial schools, or there are many ways how to acquire information, but there is sometimes very few actions afterwards. And partially it's due to the fact that it's quite overwhelming, or it requires like a team of people and you don't have access to this. We are at the stage where AI can really solve many of those bottlenecks for solo professionals, solopreneurs, smaller businesses, or not necessarily start a business, but like remove some inefficiencies from the current already existing business that runs successfully, but you know the environment changes all the time, and you have to keep up with it, and you have to be faster and smarter. And I think AI is the way to at least try to go.
And helps you adapt in no time or less time that would traditionally would have taken you.
Exactly, because we live in a much faster world. The pace is crazy, and yeah, you have to adapt. That's
Adapt
for
or
sure.
die.
Yeah, something like that.
So everyone talks about automation, but where do you actually start when you're a solo founder or a small team?
That's a great question. The most straightforward is to start with the things that drain you the most. I think like when you do the like self-exploratory or self-development practices, or you try to learn something new, the first thing you're asked is like, what is it that you don't like to do, and then what is it that you like to do. So you can you can shift your focus towards things that matter to you, that you love, you enjoy doing, that recharge you. And so I advise and I recommend to focus on things that you don't like to do, because often these are routine and like grunt work that can be either delegated or automated very easily. It used to be that automation was not very accessible for smaller businesses, more like really big corporate businesses with a lot of money or somewhat medium size. But these days, again, thanks to democratization of AI, it can be done, like everyone can do it. Like even in your everyday life, you can use to remove a bit of a routine from your day.
Remove the clutter.
Yes, yes, exactly. So start with a small thing that the second is it doesn't have to be big, but it's something that you don't want to spend your time on, and generally like look at something that has to be done, needs to be done, but doesn't need to be you.
Okay.
And it should be something small to start with, because one small working AI solution is better than five half finished.
Okay.
Yeah. And also don't overcomplicate this small task. The simplest possible solution, like I would say only need drafted in these sticks and circles. That's the way to go.
Okay.
It gives a great understanding and foundation to build on later on.
So it's good. It's a good mental exercise as well. So you sit down and say, "Okay, so what do I dread doing every day? What is the least enjoyable part of my everyday work?" And then from there you can start understanding, oh, maybe this can be automated in this way.
Yeah, it's often something repetitive, but it is different. I cannot say like start with content generation.
Of
Not
course.
necessarily. It's different for everyone. Like for me, for example, it was writing. For other people, it could be email, communication, I don't know, thinking what to buy for dinner. As simple as that.
Yeah, also or handling paperwork as well, like classify the paperwork, all
Especially.
that takes a lot of time.
Absolutely. Everything that has to do with data,
Mm.
that's a really good area for automating with
Yeah,
AI.
yeah,
Yes, that's for sure.
makes sense and make our life easier. So, what common AI trap you see businesses fall into, and what's a smarter way to approach it?
It's a really a great question. I think from my practice, the most probably common and also I would say like it's like a really foundational one is that like often we start with the tool, not with the problem. Yeah, we kind of we hear like there's AI, it can solve everything, message around, and we jump straight in and like without thinking that like what it actually can do for me. There's also a lot of misconception around AI, like I think around any new technology, whereas people sometimes I often often see that people tend to think that AI is some kind of an out-of-box clone of yours. It's like which you can prompt like, be me, or well, that's very like really oversimplification, but or like I don't know, sell cakes or do taxes.
Do taxes.
And then there's disappointment, obviously, because it doesn't work this way, and it can set you back a lot with the idea that this is just another hype, it's not going to work. I'm not going to go there. I think the way to approach this is to first of all keep your mind open for anything that can happen, because it's a new technology. It's not perfect. It's not always work the way you think it should work. There are certain rules and practices, best practices to follow. And always do it with the simplest possible way you can think of. So really be open-minded. The first, I think, would be my best recommendation, because it takes time still. It's not you press a button and everything and magic starts happening.
AI is not magic, it's a technology.
Yes, but it does feel a bit sometimes magical, really, when you see the result or how fast you can get the result. It's like, wow.
You're mesmerized.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so enticing that, and also as humans, we always crave improvement.
Yes,
We have that's innate in humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And AI it can offer this constant improvement that we crave.
Absolutely, especially if you're a little bit of a perfectionist as I am, then it's like
Guilty, yes.
It's just great.
So you blend tech, strategy, and storytelling. Why do you think AI adoption is much about mindset as it is about tools?
This a little intersects with the previous question a little bit, or at least with my answer. It's because the mindset runs the show. We like to do things the way we learn to do, or sometimes we got into habit of doing, and we also have some ideas and understanding. And it's often with the disruptive tech like AI, it's completely different what we used to do or to kind of follow the routine. It's completely different. It's like a new workflow. So if you're not open to the new, to kind of shift your mindset from like fear of, oh my God, it's going to replace me, to, oh, actually maybe it might be just very like a supportive tool and useful, then there will be no adoption really. You will just probably will be left behind in many cases. So the mindset is very important, and I see that like actually the early adopters, usually people who just have this curiosity all the time in their like as a driver for trying new things, improving, evolving. So yes, I think mindset is a really big part of it, because as a tool, there were many tools that came and go and were not noticed. And I'm sure that it's not only it wasn't happening only with AI. It's like whatever, internet, same story.
It's the same story, but a different approach.
Exactly.
Yeah. So many people worry that automation makes businesses less personal. How do you design AI systems that keep the human in the loop?
That's a common concern, and there is a reason for that. And indeed, I think it can be very generic, but it depends on the execution.
Yeah.
A good AI system does not remove the personal touch. It clears the space for more of it. So I can give you an example. Like one of my clients, for example, she automated onboarding process with AI, which there were previously ways how to automate it with non-AI tools, but it was less personal. It took time to figure out things, to fine-tune a little bit, like fit the right information. But then, like she opened the space for like creative part, where she came up with a personalized video message to the new clients, and that like immediately increased the level of first of all success of conversion, and then it had like a super positive impact on building the connection, because the new clients, they all like still a bit like you have to build relationship with them. And now like when she clear out that thing with like typing at the end of the day, like the messages became pretty generic, because you do it every day. You want like a template to substitute the name.
Copy-paste.
Exactly. And with the AI, she got rid of this entirely, and then she could like focus on like creating those messages for like really super personalized.
Ah, that's beautiful. And personalization is key for client relationship.
Absolutely. This is what everyone is in marketing shout about, that like it has to be personalized. You have to talk to your clients. You have to know your clients. When you're a solopreneur or like solo professional, you don't always have time for that, because you have many other things to do.
It's like
so
you're trying to stay afloat.
Also, don't go crazy sometimes. But yeah.
So an AI can really help with that, with
Absolutely.
a human touch, but also using the AI.
Exactly, because at the current stage, AI isn't here to replace you. It's to augment and to support you, like to like if you have extra hands to some extent to handle things.
I love that. I will be useful for the kids. In your workshops, what surprises people the most when they start working with the generative AI?
That it's not as complicated as they thought. Usually people expect to have this like giant learning curve.
Okay.
But then when they see how like a properly designed prompt and a pipeline of custom tools generate within sometimes seconds, but maybe mostly minutes, the for example like weekly worth content for drafts for their social media, for example, they're like, wow. And that's where their mind gets really blown. Like, it's not as complicated. It's just it needs to be open-minded and to willing to sort of do this step and transformation and to learn something new. But there's still some learning involved, of course, because it's scary even, right? You see like when like I don't know, text creating or image creating, it's like
that's a bit scary, but I love that part that once you remove the mystery veil and you start using the AI, you realize that, oh, okay, I can learn to master it. It's not as far from
Yes.
my everyday life than I thought.
Yeah, and then they also learn how to obviously transfer it from work to their like real life, and
Yeah.
that's also I always I get some feedbacks on like, oh, I did that with AI, it was amazing, which was not part of a work. Like one client of mine, she experimented a little bit and she decided to ask to use AI to do research on like proper orientation for her child who's going to school,
Okay.
to high school soon. And she was like super pleased with the result, and like it was absolutely, it saved her a lot of time and some money for the, you know, professional. But yeah, so it was a very curious experience with a positive outcome.
Yeah, of course.
There is something else that's like the second thing, but it's very important, is that it can be like that AI can be deeply personal if you contextualize it right.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? It's like in order to harness the real power of AI, you need to give it as much context as you can, and that's not always obvious because. Yeah, there are some guidelines how to use it, but we like to, you know, skip the manual part and just jump straight to it. And then you ask a question and you get a very generic response. And then again, disappointment. But if you know how to start with, if you just know that you have to give proper context, that will already help you enormously. And that's always like aha moment where like things change, like where you see that like after several adjustments, the output sounds more like you or looks more like you want it to look.
Okay.
So that's the second.
So it's giving the right input in order to receive the right output.
Yes, because you have to do it sort of once, or it's not as long as if you do everything over and over again, because you kind of you do it only. It's like, imagine I have this example, like when you clean your desk, like in order to get in the right mood, for some people it's important to, you know, to have the desk properly set up. But then, like, you know, it gets
super busy
all the time, and then here you go, you have again this like pile of stuff on your desk. With the AI, it's like you do it once, or more or less once. And then it's done. It's every time you get back to work, it's always like this.
It's a clean desk.
Clean desk, neat and arranged like the way you want it to be arranged.
That's beautiful. I love that metaphor.
Because it's ultimately, it's about saving your energy for other things that you enjoy doing.
And truly use it as something to facilitate your life, to make your life easier, better, more efficient.
Sure, absolutely. Obviously, I'm a little oversimplifying here because it's a bit more, there are some intricate details, but in the nutshell, it is a bit like that.
So, what's your view on data minimalism? Should we always collect more, or is less sometimes smarter?
I'm all for intentional data, so more isn't always better, and oftentimes it actually complicates things enormously because there's big costs on collecting those data, clearing them from noise, and you can just get drowned in it. So small data means less noise, less overwhelm, and it's easier to align it with privacy also values, and it really helps. Generally, it makes decision faster. And I think ultimately it's not about the right decision, it's about being able to take fast decision.
Okay.
Sometimes that matters most, because if you do 10 fast decisions over one right, likely you're gonna win with the first approach than just like obsessing over collecting all the data and then like 3 years later,
perfect option.
You're still there with this tons of petabytes of data, but nothing changes.
Okay.
So I'm for like, but okay, I say small data. It's
but
not
with purpose.
yes, for purpose, and it's not that small, really. It still has to be significant. You can't ask one person, for example, if you do research or survey, you can't ask one person, and okay, there it is. It's intentional, it's purposeful, done. I'm gonna do this. No, that doesn't work either. It still has to be significant, but there's indeed no need for petabytes of data. That's for sure.
Okay. And you help people streamline operations and boost productivity. But what does productive actually mean in a world flooded with tools?
I love this question. It really depends. Yeah. For me, for example, productivity isn't necessarily about doing more. It's I think it's a bit of a mixture. And the most important part for me is about doing better. I already mentioned that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, just a bit. I spent a lot of time previously to try to, find a compromise with this part, with this feature of mine. And now, with like my army of mini AI tools and GPTs, I don't have to compromise anymore. I just get to this same almost perfect, in my understanding, result within the same time. And without any overwhelm or stress, and it just works well for me. So it doesn't mean that, so for me personally, it doesn't mean that I work less.
Okay.
But can be, really.
Yeah.
You can work less. It's a matter of priorities. But like within the same amount of time, I produce much better results, which I'm more happy with. And, I'm just finally enjoying it. So
It's not all very long checkups and checkups and checkups.
Exactly. And there is, of course, more, because certain things I wouldn't even be able to do by myself previously, photo generation, for example, like even video generation, some production. For me, it's mainly sits within the area of image and video handling. But for example, for some of my clients, it's about marketing strategies or getting ideas for content production. So not necessarily production, but the ideas.
Yeah.
This flow, they not outsource, but augment with AI help, because there are many tools to follow trends, and you can build really beautiful pipelines to make it smooth and fast. So to finish on the point is, I think that true productivity is about creating space to actually think, to rest, and to get new ideas.
Yeah, because you need time to rest in order to get inspiration.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you're just gonna get overwhelmed, burn out. It's unfortunately there's a reason why burnout is a classified disease these days, because it's happening all over. And we all, I think, once or twice in life already went through it, consciously or unconsciously. So it's very important, because if you don't have this space for reflecting, resting, and just you don't create value. You just don't have energy to create value for what you want and for what matters for you.
Yeah. And then everything falls apart.
True.
So let's flip it. When is automation not the answer?
When the process is broken. You don't automate chaos. And unfortunately, I see it a lot, because often that's a bit of both problem for the entrepreneurs, good for me, because I often help to solve those issues exactly. Smaller businesses and like solo professionals and solopreneurs, they didn't have resources to think about automation in general before the AI got really available for everyone. And then we have this issue where the processes are not yet digitalized enough to be put on AI rails. Let's put it this way. So I see often that like I work with some e-commerce and businesses that already like develop businesses. They sell something online or services, and those are successful businesses, and they're like, okay, let's. This is also going back to the jumping on a tool. Let's use AI to supercharge our business. And then they try, and then it turns out, oh, we have so many things that we could have first automated with simpler tools. And that's actually necessary to do before we can introduce AI, because otherwise it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. You cannot build a chatbot and say sell balloons. It will not end up well, because the process is super complicated. And if it's not properly kind of digitalized, I like this word digitalized, because there are a lot of already tools on the market that you can do it with. It will be hard to introduce AI in the process. So if there's chaos in the process, it's not going to work well. You're not going to get any nice result. It's like trash in, trash out.
Okay, so now we move to the flash section.
Right.
You have to think fast,
Okay.
pick one. You can just say whatever you picked, or you can explain it away if you would like. Less data, more clarity, or more data, better decisions.
Less data, more clarity.
AI that makes you faster, or AI that helps you think better.
Think better always.
Track everything, or only track what drives revenue.
Track what matters. Because yes, revenue is a nice metric, but sometimes revenue is not the only metric, and there are certain things that influence revenue outside of your control. So no matter how much you track it, you shouldn't forget that it's not the only one, and it not necessarily matter. Yeah. Of course, it's good for business. No one doubt that, but it's not always the one that you be solely focused on.
Okay. Because it's also creating value. It's further than just
absolutely
revenue.
Sometimes times are not just good for business. Happens often, unfortunately. But if you just purely focus on driving the revenue, you may forget about like your customers value, like what they value, what they want, and your engagement with them, and then you start losing customers even faster, and that's no good for revenue at all.
Course. Then it suffers.
Yeah, so I think you should always track what matters, and it's not necessarily revenue. Of course, it's usually part of the most important. Yes.
It's important, but it's not the only thing.
Yes.
Okay. No codes, tools, or learning to code what you really need.
No code to start. We're in the era where you can totally no code to start whatever you want, to try, or to see, to test your hypothesis of a product or a new idea, and then it is absolutely necessary to code if you want it to be robust and working well in the longer perspective. If you want to actually grow it into a big product, for example, it's important. And there's also other things, like there are areas that I don't know, I don't think you probably would want your bank application to be wipe coded or no coded. So
yes. So they both serve a different purpose.
Absolutely,
so no
yes.
coding to sandbox, for example, to make to play with the design, to make sure that this is what you want, and then you move to coding.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so fully autonomous or always human in the loop?
I'd say human in the loop.
Share your prompts with the team or keep your magic private?
Absolutely share, because it's first of all, there's enough magic going around. And then it's like when you share, you create usually your value is returned into in bigger knowledge.
Yeah.
Because one head is good, but two is always better.
That's true. Delegate decision making to AI or just let it handle the grunt work?
Grunt work.
Okay.
yeah, the strategy and or stays human.
Mm. Build to a scale with AI or build to stay small and sharp.
I'd say build to stay fast and sharp, and then scale
A combination there.
Yeah, because
Okay.
small is nice, but not that doesn't always serve someone's ambition.
Yeah.
But these days you can build fast and sharp,
Mm.
and then that would help you scale smart, really, also, without losing your mind.
Okay. Without going crazy and
Yes.
and working yourself to the ground. Final flash question. Automate everything but control nothing, or control everything but automate nothing.
Neither.
Ah!
I think smart automation with intentional control. That's very like I said about when you try to automate chaos. It's like, smart automation with some control.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can take our futurist true
Yes.
palette and you can choose either true, meaning that is the statement is gonna happen soon or is happening right now, is about to happen, or futuristic futurist, not yet, maybe never, sci-fi, you went too far. Okay, so first question. Most freelancers will use a personal AI assistant as common as email. True.
Yeah, I think it's quite happening already. We're at the stage where you can use AI as your assistant. It depends, of course, what you mean by the assistant, but let's say 60 to 80% of the work, it still cannot schedule your tickets to Japan, for example.
Not yet.
But we're getting there, yes.
Hopefully. Yeah, I hate looking online for flights. Oof, it's something, and even with all the tools there, there are the apps and all that, it's always a mess.
Yes.
And because I like to check the connection, the time, I like to check the plane to know how big it is because I'm not a very confident flyer, so I like to make sure it's a big place. So the bigger the plane, the less the movement.
Yes.
So yeah, all of that I will be happy to have an AI to help me.
Mm-hmm. There is agentic tools already available, and one of the I think for them one of the most I think typical examples they try to showcase their capacities, capabilities. They plan a trip somewhere, and
It's a mess.
let's say a couple months ago it was a mess, but recently it starts looking much better.
Okay.
There is I don't know if we can say names.
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, there is Chinese agent called Manus. It's really close to, if you prompt it with what you just told me about what you want to check, I think you'll be surprised with the outcome.
Okay.
Yes, you could try it.
I will try it because I like to have all the information, but it takes time.
Yes, that's true. And the main problem with the AI is that it tends to just mess with the dates. It confuses the dates.
Okay.
It sometimes, when it comes to calculating, it's still pretty bad. So it's better to ask a question about calculation in a way that it would write a code to solve the problem. Then the result is robust. But if you just say, I don't know, 2 plus 2, what it is equal, of course it will not make a mistake. But generally,
more complex kind of math is gonna be a problem. Okay, that's good to know because I'm very bad at math. So for math I use there's some online website that you can really use for math, and you just put the numbers that can help you. But it would be great if AI can do that.
But again, right now, and things change so fast that I'm not sure what's gonna maybe in a month there will be already a designated tool for at least booking tickets, for example.
Like a flight assistant.
Something like that, specifically designed for that.
Yeah.
It changes very fast.
Yeah. I'm very looking forward for that tool to be developed. Okay, so investors will ask for your AI automation plan in your pitch deck.
I'm not sure about the pitch deck, but definitely they would be looking at the founders who already. It's like there will be no point to go to go fundraising if you haven't built already a prototype or something with AI. So that's gonna be really super ubiquitous because it's just like available right now. So if you come to an investor and like, I just have this idea and you didn't try it yourself with AI, that will be like, that will be probably no straight away.
Okay.
Just because it's so available. It is known that in order to be successful with fundraising, you probably better to have, on average, already some traction. It used to be much more complicated because you probably depend on what you're trying to launch, obviously, but it was much more complicated. You would need a co-founder with like tech skills or hire a team, like do some initial investment into it. But now you don't have to do it all. You kind of can no code this modern language vibe code your product and see, if we talk about tech products, of course, and see and get some initial feedback, and then you go to the investors. I don't think like investors would buy anymore for just a brilliant idea.
Okay.
If you like a well-rounded founder where you like have, I don't know,
a track record of
track record, you already know how to do these small things. So I think it's true. It's now here already.
Okay. Startups will hire AI consultants before they hire human staff. True.
Yeah, well, it depends. So if you mean AI consultants, people like who help adjust the workflow so it can be done with the help of AI, then absolutely yes. And even not startups, there are agencies already, and like even me, I do this thing. I re-engineer some processes for businesses so they can use AI for that. So yeah, it's, I think, true. Yeah, I even have like a friend who's running AI consultancy also, and they're like about 50 people. And if not for AI, he said that like they would be 150 people.
Oh, wow.
They should be 100 people.
Yeah.
They save that much on staff.
That's crazy, and great as well that they can run a leaner business, be more efficient, and have AI. So you get okay. You will outsource your inbox entirely to a chatbot that knows your tone. True.
Yes.
No one likes writing emails.
Let's I would say half true.
Okay, in between.
It's not that futuristic.
Okay.
The problem here is that like inboxes are a bit like sacred, and there's a lot of issue. But you can for sure outsource certain processes. Like for example, I helped to build the other day negotiator, like a bot that negotiates. So there's an incoming an inquiry for quote, and people ask for discount, and then bot is prompted with certain knowledge about what the discount could be, the terms, etc., and it is allowed, this bot, to answer only these emails and negotiate with the client.
Wow,
that saves lots of time, really.
Because he already has the parameters, so he knows how he can provide the discount in which scenarios, and then he just negotiates. Oh, that's great. And that saves work as well. Because then when the client actually comes in, then a person starts working with them. But the vetting part, the filters already happened with the AI before.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's great.
So it's kind of happening, but I wouldn't go as far as the entire inbox because you still want to be in touch with the reality, I think.
You still want to talk to people.
Also, yeah.
Legal disclaimers will be required to prompt used in commercial LLMs outputs.
Yes, I think this is true, and this is getting just faster and faster and more all over.
Yeah,
I think it's also
Be
very
transparent. You're saying it's okay. You can say it.
yeah. I think it's very important
Yeah.
also, and yeah.
Okay. You'll get fined for overusing AI without optimizing human collaboration. True.
I would say
Info.
futuristic, but it's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea, especially considering that AI is still very expensive to run,
Wow.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only money-wise and data factors, but also it's not very sustainable
Okay.
still. There's lots of water waste in the process. So I think we all should be a bit smart about it, or more like careful and mindful, because it's taking resources.
Okay. Okay. So we need to be we need to think about ways of making it more efficient, sustainable.
Absolutely, yes. It's not for, I guess, for like users to think about it, but it's like with I don't know, plastic,
Mm-hmm.
or all these initiatives about recycling.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same, but it's also it touches
It's
on
in
this.
the same realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Automation fatigue will become a diagnosable workplace condition.
I don't know what that means.
So when you have to you go to your workplace and everything is automated, and the only thing that you do is to survey that the work is if it flows. So you don't really do anything but to supervise if the machine don't go crazy, for example. That was the idea behind this question.
Yes, that's a good one.
So you feel like a soulless kind of task.
I think it's not impossible, but it's a little futuristic at this point, because we're nowhere near that point with AI.
Okay.
I'm sure there is such thing when it comes to some production, whereas this heavy machinery.
Yeah, that's what I thought, is that that people that work in like line manufacturing, things like that they do the same thing over and over and over, and that of course provides fatigue.
Absolutely. So I think there is really solid ground for this to happen with AI when we get to the point, if we get to the point where it's all autonomous, but
Okay.
not right now.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
SMEs will be required to register the ethical impact of their automations.
I think it's futuristic, but it's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's important also for everything to be ethical, transparent, and with good purpose and intention.
There will be a marketplace for selling your best AI prompt chains.
Yes, I think some people already trying to do that.
Right? I
Yeah.
feel that there's a lot of little online webinars and things like that of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not quite a marketplace yet, but it's definitely happening.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there is already. I'm just not aware, to be honest.
Final question. Clients will ask for you to disclose if your proposal was drafted by a human or AI. True.
And they should.
Yes, that's important.
I always now these days start to ask, is that AI? You can see these days, even like on Instagram or like social media, some ads, it's clearly AI generated.
Oh,
Yeah, they're like human, not real, for example.
yeah.
I don't have anything against it. It's just how how ubiquitous it becomes, and I think it's important to disclose that you generated something with AI, especially if it comes to documents. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I love using AI for editing my drafting, because oftentimes I, I, I draft like a full paragraph of a full text, and then I want to make it more semantic, to make more sense, to have like a better flow, and AI is great for that. It really helps you to put your thoughts into a structured way.
absolutely, it provides the great framework or structure to the chaos in one's head. That's for sure.
Yeah. So now the question to close the episode. What's one mistake you wish every founder will stop making when using AI, And what belief should they replace it? And what belief should they replace it with instead?
At this stage, it is as simple as AI doesn't create or AI doesn't think. It's you do. That's one thing that I keep repeating over and over again, that AI is more like a translator or transformer.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't think, it doesn't create, it doesn't generate anything new. We can argue a little bit about the generation bit because it seems like it's generating. But in reality, it just has so much, they call it large language models for a reason. They sit on a large data, like really vast amount of data, which allows them to recombine it or translate it into a different form. But ultimately, they don't come up with it. So it's the creator who shapes it. It's you who do the creating part. You can think of it. Well, AI in general is a very big topic, right? So maybe in this particular case, I mean more tools like ChatGPT and or Claude or other. There are many others. It's like a pen. You know, it's useless until it has a hand that directs what it writes, right?
Yeah.
So that's a little bit like that.
Yeah, that's a very good way of seeing it. It's a tool, and then you're the one who have to shape how it goes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vlada, for sharing with us, for sitting here and talking about AI automation and all the possibilities that we have at our fingertips right now, and also the future potential that will come. Thank you for reminding us that AI isn't just for tech giants or research labs. It is a practical tool that small business or small teams and entrepreneurs can use right now to simplify, to scale, and to focus on what really matters. Because when AI is applied with purpose, it doesn't replace your vision, it amplifies it. And that's where the real transformation begins.
Thank you very much, and really well said with the last thought of yours. It's indeed like that. It's just in the right hands with the right ideas. It helps a lot. Thank you very much for having me here. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.